Okay, so I'm doing the live trade here that I do once a week where I trade minimum position size. I didn't catch it as I was going in just because I had to switch over to my laptop, which is where I do the recordings. So this morning, I identified this zone right here. I actually made a video for the training program which is coming out, whereby I had pegged this market as very negative today, and I said I expected a fall off. We got that straight in the morning, fell all the way down. We then bounced back up, got a pin bar here. I actually clicked to enter this below the low, however, the market dropped down and popped back up so quickly that I got a very nice entry slightly higher than the low. The market then stalled a little bit and has turned around and fallen away. I am expecting it to come at least back down to these previous lows. My limit order is here, however I will start managing here because this is my next zone, and if it starts to reject again, I'll just exit the position. The only thing is there's a news release at 9:30. It's the Bank of England's inflation, whereby they take the public sentiment on inflation. So a high importance news release like that is very important because it can cause the markets quite a lot of volatility. It's difficult to make the Ftse bounce around because it's made up of 100 different companies, 100 stocks. It's much more volatile on things like the Dow Jones, the currency markets. However, it's good to be aware of this because it can still happen on occasion. So what I'm going to do is I'll pause the video. If it gets a little bit lower, I'll turn it back on, and if it starts to reject, I'll turn it back on and I'll talk you through how I'm managing it. Okay, so we're almost at 9:30. The market is coming down nicely. Let me just delete this alert here. I'm not expecting the news to make the Ftse bounce around too much. However, I would always suggest you bring your stop down to break even if possible when a high importance news release is coming. So minimum position size trade. Minimum position size on the Ftse is actually £2 per point with IG markets. So when you're learning how to trade, £2 per point is your minimum. When you first start, they let you do it on £1 per point. The reason I've got it at 350 a point is because on occasion I like to close out part of my position and let the profits run. Now I tried to do that a couple of weeks ago with £3 a point for these videos and it wouldn't let me. So I've upped it to £3.50. If it doesn't work with this, I'll up it again in increments until it allows me to do it, just so I can show you exactly how I would normally trade. Okay, so I'll come back after the news. We'll see if it does react at all or if it just keeps falling down. Okay, so we can see the news release came here at 9:30. We didn't have much of a reaction. The market was already at a support and resistance area and it's bounced a little bit higher. I left the trade running just so you could see what happened with this. Sometimes, especially with things like rate decisions, if there's an unexpected rate decision, it can cause the Ftse to go haywire. So it's always beneficial to be extra cautious. During news releases also, stops can become completely useless. There's something known as slippage, whereby if the market turns extremely volatile, it can just crash all the way through your stop and you won't get stopped out. When I first started trading, I actually tried to trade the news a couple of times, and the reason I stopped is because on the second time I traded the Australian dollar. I was in profit, the news came out, it plummeted, I had my stop at break even, and by the time it exited me from the trade, I was minus 50 pips. So since that day, I've never been interested in trading the news. I'd rather be cautious and protect my account. So the market's falling down. I'm going to manage it down here. If it doesn't break through here this time, I will just exit the trade. So as I've said, I already had this market negative this morning. I don't want to go too much into how I identified this, just because it's part of the training program, and that is a paid service. So I don't really want to mention it too much on here because it's not fair basically. As of next week, I'll be back to normal, doing two videos per week. I do one on Wednesday where it's a Ftse review in the morning. I identify what I'm looking at and how I'm going to trade, and then I come back at 4:30 and show you exactly the opportunities that were available and which ones I traded. On the Friday, I post a live trade similar to this where I trade minimum position size and I guide you through exactly how I have managed it. The training program, it's coming on the 16th. I've already mentioned this in my blog, and I've answered a few emails on this. Well, it's coming on the 16th of September. I will keep you updated, and of course I will post a link to it when it is available. Okay, I'm going to pause this. When it gets a little bit lower, I'll turn the video back on and we'll see what happens. Okay, so the market's just coming lower now. If it wasn't for this video, and if I hadn't wanted to show you how the news release affects my trading and how I manage a trade, I would have just exited after this candle right here. It came so close to the next support and resistance level and shown rejection. So normally I would have just closed this position. I'll just left the video running, the trade running, just so I could guide you through it. Now, after this candle here, I will close this position now. It's just falling down. You know, there's no point of letting your trade turn against you for the sake of a couple of points. You get a lot of people who allow the emotion, greed to take over their trading, and this is their limit order here. Or perhaps they've watched some videos on YouTube which says you set your trade, you enter your trade, and then after that you don't touch your trade. It's a very strange way to trade, in my opinion. If the market's giving you clear signals that it doesn't want to go down there, if it's giving you signals that it's going to turn around, of course you should exit your trade. It's money. It's your money that's on the line. Why would I want to take a break even now when I'm almost 20 points in profit? I don't. I mean, the market is telling me now that it's struggling down here, so I'll just exit the position. It's as simple as that. We've got 20 seconds left of the candle, so I'm just watching it, just seeing what happens. You can see it's pushing higher. You can see the buyers are stepping into the market a little bit. I am actually expecting this to continue falling down now. However, because I would have exited after this candle normally, after this candle I'll just exit the position. So there we go. So now what I do, this candle right here, if it goes 1 point higher, I just exit. That's always the way I trade. We've had the signal here to exit. Now we've got a candle here. If it turns around, pops 1 point higher, I'll close. If it gets to 20 points first, I will close the position that way. Very simple, very easy way to trade. It's stress-free. You make your decision before the candle even starts to form, and that's you following a rule set. So we'll just watch it and we'll just see what happens. Okay, we're at 16, 15. You can see it's just a little bit indecisive. I'm expecting this to actually fall down. If I'm being honest, the market is very negative. I've already went over this in the training program, but you can see the market has plummeted down, bounced back, and it couldn't get back through the zone. It's just instantly rejected and fallen all the way down. So I mean, there's always noise in the market. There's always buyers. There's always sellers. If there wasn't, the market wouldn't exist. You need to have people on both sides of a trade for it to work. And at no time, or very rarely, is there a complete agreement in the market. There's always buyers trying to step in. There's always sellers trying to push the market down. It's just how it works. You can see that this candle is just bouncing around. It's struggling a little bit. It's pushed back up to 16 points. There we go. It's coming down. So now all I do, I've already made the decision. This is the most important part of trading. Once you've made your decision, as long as it's not based on emotion, once you've made your decision, once you've decided how you're going to trade, you stick to that completely. It's much more important to build discipline in trading than it is to win an individual trade. Discipline will allow you to trade long term and be profitable. Changing your mind and jumping in and out just so you can get a little profit here, a little profit there, it doesn't work. You have to, so that's 20 points. You have to understand that the way I used to do it is in my head I used to say, would a professional trader do this before I made a decision or altered my trade? If the answer is no, then you should not be doing it either. It's as simple as that. Okay, so nice 20 points, very easy. I hope the video was helpful, and as always, please do subscribe to Decisive Trading if you are learning how to trade. It's completely free, and as I've said, there are minimum 2 videos a week where I will attempt my best to help you to improve your trading. Okay, I'm James Orr, thank you.